Good evening, and welcome to another informational, inspirational program, the new Black Leadership Coalition, inspirational, motivational, but more so information, not just your typical talk show, live right here in the studio, the great studio of IntellectualRadio.com, Intellectual Radio, and that phone number if you'd like to join in this conversation, this information that we will be disseminating, 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953. I am the host. Minister Michael Muhammad is the co-host, and the guest host today is my brother, my friend, brother Enoch Muhammad from Hip Hop Detox.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to thank Almighty God, brother, for you, for another day of life on this planet that we call Earth. We are so thankful, man, for God, and for all of the guidance, the mercy, the grace. You know, I've been reading a lot of Facebook posts where people are really talking more God. Many people are asking for prayers and etc. People are really worried right now, and they need to be worried if we continue this course, this direction and or misdirection of our people. But I get it. So that's why the spiritual part of us have to kick in, and it have to be real, no matter what our goals and objectives are, whatever our program, if it's not based and founded with the movement and the mission of God, then it's going to be a complete failure anyway. So we always put God first. And we talk about love because love is God. I want to thank real quick Pilgrim Baptist Church for having me this past Sunday, yesterday, as their guest speaker to the youth and to the elders. I was so thankful that it was a great turnout, and God blessed and deposited in me, I feel, an effective word. It was called yes ma'am, no ma'am. Yes sir, no sir. That was my scripture. Yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, because that's the real deal. Once we bring that back, that order, we can move forward. But anyway, brother Enoch, I know you like many of us, we like to thank our ancestors. When we come on here, we realize that we are standing on their shoulders. If it were not for our ancestors, we thank all of the prophets, and many of them are our ancestors. We thank all of them. We thank those ancestors that they mentioned during Black History, the few that they mentioned during Black History Month,
program one.
right, which is coming up. You know, we so programmed when it comes to that, but we thankful for Nat Turner. I'm thankful for Denmark Vesey, Marcus Garvey,
Bookman,
Chairman Fred Hampton,
Mary McLeod Bethune.
Oh my God, Frederick Douglass,
Fannie Lou Hamer,
the most honorable Elijah Muhammad,
Marion Stamps,
man, Kwame Ture,
our brother Harold Washington.
Oh man, and our brother Dr. Martin Luther King.
That's right.
And we thank him for the contemporary. We thank him for Brother Malcolm. We thank him for the honorable brother Minister Louis Farrakhan. That voice, that reckoning voice that will not compromise what's important in our struggle. But we thankful for those unsung heroes and sheroes that their names are not mentioned. And as many of them have participated. Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, you know,
Brother Edward Blyden.
Oh my God, Dorothy Heights. And the list go on and on. And for any of those that we miss, please, you can call in and mention their name.
Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Oh man, all praise is due to the Creator, man, for all of these great people. And they died or lived first and left this planet because they knew when they left that their work was not in vain. Every day, brother, when they was hitting the pavement or the grass or the rocks or the dirt. They did it for liberation, true liberation.
True liberation.
They were not about getting a check. They wasn't about being at the next gala. They wasn't about just trying to be seen of men. They wasn't about being politically correct. They wasn't compromising. Man, they call a spade a spade. They didn't sugarcoat anything. They told you if it was 6 in one hand and a half a dozen, meaning that when you were being bamboozled and tricked. And that's why we need shows like this. I know many of us are programmed to what they have gave us.
You can't forget our New Black Leadership Coalition.
Oh my God, so many members.
Baba Kwesi.
Man, forever.
Brother Joe Watkins.
And Brother Chris Moore.
Chris Moore, yeah.
Man, we thank all of the members.
Right.
And we thank all of you all that are tuned in tonight.
I want to thank you, brother, and brother Minister Michael. I was watching some of the shows, and you all have been holding it down for years. You know, not only doing these shows, but keeping that spirit and the principles of New Black leadership and what that really means. And
oh yes,
I was
sir.
listening to the video and watching.
Oh, me
the
too.
Ministers put out, and
I love it.
In the essence of the principle, the living principle.
13 of them.
The living principle. And I want to just say this to those who may get it twisted. You know, the divine essence is the divine essence. And I don't care what you call the divine essence. See, my uncle, I had an old school uncle, right? My uncle used to say that, he said, you a lying sack of ish and your nickname is doo-doo. He used to say that. He said, you a lying sack of ish and your nickname is doo-doo. And when you are lying, saying, well, you could only say it this way, you could only do it that way, there's no one way nothing in this universe. So if, as we know in mathematics, if you say 5 plus 2, brother not wrong if you say 4 plus 3.
That's right.
Sister not wrong if she say
That's
7
right.
times 1. So we have to now get more mature now, because we've been listening and watching and talking wisdom for a long time, but it's time to talk about it and be about it. And that's why I made sure for those who can see this, that's what time it is. It's time to do one of these numbers.
Reset.
Because if we ain't talking about reset, RE means to do over. Set. If you set in your ways and your ways stink in the nostrils of the Creator, if your ways stink in your own nostrils, and you know you wrong, because some of you all, you've been getting a pass for a long time because we people nice. You know what I'm talking about? We nice. We trying to find ways to deal with you and have empathy, because we're supposed to have empathy. We're supposed to forgive 77 times 7, right? We're supposed to forgive, but we're not supposed to be foolish.
That's right.
We're supposed to be as wise as the serpent, yet gentle as the dove.
That's right.
But if spanking your ass is part of the conversation, it got to happen, because I went to a funeral, brothers, this past Saturday. One of the hip hop detox young brothers, I got a text message a few days ago, and it read, did you hear what happened to Tyrell? So my heart went, you know, I'm thinking about my own son, I'm thinking about, and I'm like, I've known this brother since he was 15. He's 21 now. So it took me a few minutes to even address that. And when I did get on the phone, I said, okay, what happened? It wasn't he that was killed, and he didn't kill anybody, but his brother, 29-year-old, went to Subway. He didn't do anything to anybody, but he got shot up over there at Subway off 79th and the Dan Ryan. Wow. It happened on January 17th. And the word was on the street that somebody got into it with somebody at churches, and there was some retaliation, and he was just an innocent bystander. And the person came in with a mask, a ski mask, and just shot up the place. Wow. And when we went to the funeral, brother, I was just in a conversation talking to some older brothers about, look, when we go to these funerals, we can't leave these young people alone.
That's right.
We need to have people who can understand how to deal with trauma, understand vengeance, because retaliation is real. And you in the church talking all that stuff while they looking at their brother or sister dead, and they already plotting. They done took some Xans. They done drunk some lean. They plotting and ready to retaliate.
That's
so
right. That's
when the pastor was like, we're not going to be able to have no more than 2 people speak, because we know you all got love for your brother, but you all can't talk. Everybody can't talk. And brothers in the audience, they were like, Sly G, his name was Sylvester. Sly G, we love you, Sly G. So one brother came up, and you could tell he's about to explode, and he was able to just to maintain. So we had to go up to the same pulpit that the pastor was in. So I was next. But I couldn't leave, brother. So when he came down, I just grabbed him, and he was hugging me tight. I mean, and for a minute, we were just there hugging. And so I felt his energy. So then when I got up there, brother, I couldn't. I'm like, look here. When I got the word, I pictured the brother who we've been working with for the last 7 years. I pictured him in the casket because I didn't know.
Right.
But then there was no sense of relief knowing that he was living, because if his brother's gone, he's thinking about retaliation.
Absolutely.
He's in pain. His family is in pain. Then I thought about my mom, who, she transitioned last year in April. I thought about her. I thought about myself in that casket.
That's right.
And so what I'm saying is that
a
lot of people talk about how death can bring us together. But I don't agree with death unifying us. I think only life can unify us.
That's right.
And we have to love life so much that we don't fear death.
That's right.
And those brothers and them sisters that was in that church, in their eyes, you could see it. And so I let all the people know, look here, y'all. Don't leave out of here. Don't talk about Jesus is love, and you ain't gonna talk to these young people. Teach. Don't leave them at 11, 12 o'clock tonight. They about to explode, and nobody got no phone numbers. Nobody hugged them and talked to them. And brother, that type of leadership coming from New Black Leadership Coalition, it changed the whole dynamic. The pastor started talking about retaliation. The eulogy got changed. Brother started talking about his old days.
Right.
And so the reality is that we have to talk about it and be about it. If you're not about true leadership, you better leave the leadership thing alone.
I love you for saying that, because that's being in tune with the universe, realizing this whole retaliation piece.
Yes, sir.
I said this, that not that we want to see people publicly scorned, but when the news come on and they just talk about it and they don't show anyone getting arrested or etc. for the shooting. They just continue to report more of it, right?
Right.
They are advertising.
Yeah.
They are advertising. When they show the gun, they are advertising it. And I'm going to say this. When I said in that church, your sermon today to the youth is no, ma'am, yes, ma'am, no, sir, yes, sir. Getting back to what you said, our babies are so angry, and where we disconnect, we not being realistic. You looking in the eyes, you can see death in their eyes, knowing that you got to go over there and just say, let me talk to you, because I know when you walk out of here, what you thinking about is revenge, retaliation, and they don't even get through the night, some of them.
No.
And we cannot keep saying, well, they shooting, innocent people, but all of them are innocent, but doing guilty stuff.
Yes.
I mean, to their own fault, being misguided. Now think about this. I was reading, David wrote a post today.
Okay.
David, and it was good. Brother David Peterson, one of the members of the
Randolph Museum.
Yeah. He said that it was his observation. Black people stand up for everyone else except ourselves. He said we've been bamboozled. We stand up for everyone else but ourselves. Don't you all know that's listening and looking at this program? Don't you know? I mean, you gotta come to grips with this. Enoch, Donald Trump, the first week, every day, this man, the first week. Now, Donald Trump, but I need you all to talk to God tonight. If you got a relationship with God, you got to ask God, why? Don't tell me about the Electoral College and the popular vote. All of it happens by his design. We got to find out what we need to be doing. If I say to you all right now that was said to you all over the United States, redistribute the wealth. What's that? You claim you a Dr. King follower. Look at those who are so-called disciples. Where are they at telling you to redistribute the pain and then pool our resources?
Right.
I tell you right now, that's why we need new black leadership. All they want to do is march and protest and go behind closed doors and get their check. That's why they ain't telling you not to spend with corporate America that's still enslaving you, because they getting a check from it.
Oh yeah, they getting paid.
They getting paid. Man, if there's no way in the world you would be using those principles that Dr. King fought for. They make sense. Take down his picture. Take down his picture of your mantle.
Unless you part of the problem. And see, that's the thing that I want to put out there. You know, a couple of years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, the slang term, you know, you do good in basketball, football, whatever, you did good in comedy, whatever, you a beast. You know what I mean? You are a beast in whatever you're doing. That's the slang. But what's the thought behind that? Oh, now Shorty said, I'm not a beast, I'm a savage. I'm on the court and I'm a savage. So I said, okay, well, a savage is a person who has lost the knowledge of themselves and they're living a beast life.
A beast.
So they got the mark of the beast in the way they think and the way they do. Beasts and savages can be controlled. They can be tamed. They can be mocked. They could be killed, because you're dealing with that which is less than God. It's less than human.
And why you think for a while, that's excellent point, that we were saying, and I told some people this when, and I'm not getting on this thing with Steve, but it was just amazing that when and everybody uses it, so I'm not gonna get on Boomer, but he just said, hey, dog, he go, your dog.
Yeah.
Dog want the key. Dog want the keys.
Yeah.
And when you turn dog around, it spells God. So we backwards.
It's the
we
thought.
Backwards.
It's that thought process. And a lot of times we don't understand that we're not far removed from that.
That's
like
right.
When you consciously say, I am not going to do this activity. Right. Well, then you have to have a language for that thought process. But if I am going to do that activity, I got to have a soundtrack for it. I got to have a language for it. I got to have a dress and style for it. So if I'm on some beast stuff, if I'm on some dog stuff, if I'm on some savage stuff, then I'm going to be that savage. But guess what? I'm going to be it with a suit on. I'm going to be it with $1 million. I'm going to be it next to the mayor, to the governor. I'm going to be it in the pulpit. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if you have that trickling down and you say, well, these shorties need to pull their pants up. These shorties need to get off the block and do something respectable with themselves. They looking at you and they seeing a savage. They seeing a beast, but you just a beast in the pulpit. You a savage with a doggone title or some degrees. See, you got to understand something. And I hope y'all don't get it twisted, because, see, you don't know what's going to come out of this man's mouth, but you really showed up don't know what the hell will come out of my mouth either.
Oh, I can see.
Because the reality is this, y'all.
Yeah.
When you understand how fleeting life is.
That's right.
Those of you all who have been blessed to get beyond 21, you should know by now how fleeting life is. Wow. And when you see how fleeting life is, I was looking at a statistic, brother, and this blew my mind. Homicides and murders since 1973, it was about maybe 350,000 of us murdered, you know, fratricide or whatever.
Right.
Then you see heart disease, cancer, it was 400, 500. You see the numbers go up. But then I saw abortions at 15.3 million. So I'm like, well, damn, we have a total mindset of thought of cover up. And we have an energy of, well, I don't want nobody to know what I'm doing on this end, so I'm going to cover it up with sanctioned murder. And if I can sanction murder here and use what the government puts out as, well, you know, it's legal to kill the fruit of your womb, because it's justifiable. It's just a fetus. But why is it that it's the majority our fetuses that are getting killed? I remember there was an article that talked about several thousand fetuses being dumped in the garbage, and over 80–90% of those fetuses were black. So when I look at that, I say, well, wow, that means that there's
Crazy.
a culture, a sick culture of, hey,
teach, brother,
get rid of it, kill it. And so if you kill the fruit of the womb that hasn't even come to birth, what are you going to do with the fruit of the womb that's out here? A girl 20 years old, one of my friends was a janitor, he saw a girl and she was talking to her 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
The girl said to her 4-year-old, I wish you was dead like your daddy. I didn't want to have your ass anyway.
Wow.
And I'm like,
sad.
Okay, if that little girl stays with that
sad.
Mother, I don't know what the little girl gonna be at 12 years of age or 14. And this is not abnormal. This is like something that's going on,
promoting
and it's consistent.
Promoting hate.
So we have a lot of work to do in the leadership. You can't be scared. And you got to get the hate out of yourself to love God and love yourself first. So then you can love your brother and sister. But if you don't love yourself, then hell, you're gonna bend over and give evil an opening every time. And I don't care what it could be a 3-piece in a biscuit, you're gonna sell out.
That's why I love when you talk about apologizing to the youth through your hip hop detox piece. I love that, man. When you do you have that?
Oh, right here for you. Yes, sir.
I mean, I love it. And I think we should continue to do it. And you read it, because when you read it, it's unbelievable. I mean,
we had to put a correction on there. I had an he was 72-year-old brother at an event a couple of weeks ago. He said to me, brother, those born after 1965 need to apologize, but I'm 80 years old, 72 years old. You need to push that further back. Wow. I need to apologize to you all. And he started apologizing to all those younger than him. He said, we dropped the ball also. And so he made it where we had to push the age back. So basically now it reads those born after 1947, who have children, teens, young adult, and adult children, we stand in front of all to first apologize to you. Why are we apologizing? Because many of us did not want to be a parent, even though we wanted to have sex. I apologize on Facebook because I was experimenting with sex and I had a child at the age of 17, but because I wasn't responsible, the girl could not see herself and the mother could not see herself allowing her daughter to have a baby. So they aborted the baby because she didn't want her daughter to have a child at that time, even though we were experimenting. So again, all of us have to go through this process. I apologize for not staying with you and your mother and taking care of my responsibility.
Teach.
I apologize for being a modern day slave stud, making babies and not having a care as to who they are and how they are doing. I've had brothers who are leaders, so-called leaders, that have said to me stuff like, why do I have to say this? I haven't done any of these things, but I could have swore if you a pastor, if you offend one law, you offend all the law.
Teach.
But to hear that makes me to know we don't know what the hell we doing.
I love this one.
What we talking about?
I love this. I apologize for being a follower of trends and pop culture and not a leader where I make decisions based on your health, interests, rights, needs, and virtues. That's a deep one, brother.
Yeah.
Many of us out there should be apologizing. See, we can't keep blaming the system.
No, we can't.
The government. Because God has deposited in us a level of intelligence, man, that is the hidden figure. We are the hidden figures. You watch a movie, we watch a movie, and then we get the message for a minute, but don't use that momentum to understand our plight. And so after that many years, here's a movie coming out. They profiting, making money, but they know we're not going to take that energy and that message from that movie and transform ourselves and family and community.
Only way we can do that
from a movie.
Yeah, the only way we can do that is if those who have new leadership ideas agree that we have to aggregate
That's right.
The talents, the gifts, the skills, the abilities, and help us build our capacity to even do the things that we fear to
Absolutely.
do. Because there's things that in the minds of us that we really want to do, but we so afraid of failure, we don't even try. But nothing beats failure but a try. You have to say, look, I can do this. It was done before, I can do it. And if it wasn't done before, then maybe you're the one that idea must come to fruition through. And you have to have that level of faith to say, let me move on it. And that's why, again, even going to the next one, if you have many of us who are so caught up in frustrated ambition that we have to self-medicate to the extent that we become useless, because now we are not surviving. So some of us, we have to apologize for choosing drugs and alcohol over our children because we're in so much pain. We got so much frustration. We're so disappointed that we've allowed that to become our God.
Wow.
So we got to apologize to our babies that, you know, our liver is jacked up because, hey, I chose that over you. You know, I was frustrated. I couldn't make any money. So I chose to use my pennies to get me some whiskey. You know, I apologize for lying and not seeking help as a parent because I didn't know what to do with a baby. I was so proud that I couldn't ask this brother who had 3-4 children. They're in college or they're in school. They're doing pretty well. They're avoiding gangs to say, hey, man, I don't know what I'm doing, man. Can you help me out? My child is 3 years old and my child can't even do this, that, and the other. Can you teach me something? Help me.
That's deep, brother. And I like the last one.
I apologize for abandoning you, leaving you to defend yourself, feed and clothe yourself while I chased after men or money or what I thought security was. And of course, that's coming from a more feminine or woman side of the equation because we all have some apologizing to our children to do.
I love this one, man. This might be my first. I apologize for not passing on manhood and womanhood development and training to you. Now,
that's critical.
That's very critical.
It's very critical.
Because that goes back to yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Now think about this. Many of you all that's tuned in here, and some of it is our fault because we continue to support those that don't support us. Yeah. And I understand we all like to dance. We all like music. We like a few jokes and something funny, like a great meal. But we won't get together with all the energy. And many of you all are very intelligent. You expressing yourselves unbelievable on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. But we won't do farming. If we sent out a post right now to say, meet me at this farm, we're going to grow, we're going to do this to the land, and we're going to grow our food, or we're going to chip in our dollars. We're going to buy Seaway.
Right.
See, we're not going to just talk about Seaway on the radio in the morning in such a very slave-like way.
Yeah.
Oh, we go, it's enough of us to buy it. But our monies are at Chase and Wells Fargo and BPS, whatever was the place, BSOM or.
Yeah, they got quite a few.
What's the name of the place? BMOA. That's your bank, ain't it, Earl? That's what Earl didn't say nothing. He's like, big he wouldn't even give me the acronym.
You know, I saw a brother who commented on that Seaway situation, and you know, he was talking about how if we only knew certain strategies, I mean, pooling your resource is a very simplistic, general, giving you an action that you can get involved in. But brother said, look, take it to another level and say, look, equity crowdfunding. If you need to be more sophisticated with it, why didn't, you know, a call go out and when the bank knew that it was in trouble, let's go ahead and get 5,000, 1,000 people and do something on that level. But again, it goes to different type of leadership.
You get a bunch of people fined for this one. If they gave out fines for this next apology, a lot of people would be fined.
Oh yeah, I apologize for not spending quality time with you and allowing TV, radio, and media programs to fill your mind and spirit with the worst kind of ideas and images about Black women, Black men, and even yourselves.
Man, gotta read that one again. Folks, you should write this one down. We all need to be apologizing for this one. We're guilty of that.
It's horrible.
I apologize for not spending quality time with you and allowing TV, radio, and media programs fill your mind and spirit with the worst kind of ideas and images about Black women and Black men, even yourself. Man, that's the programming. And I'm telling you, I'm now is with these so-called smartphones. They not that smart. I mean, they smart, but then at some point they dummy us down. So we begin dumb. We don't read books.
We don't
they
know the
be in
basics.
the back telling you when, you know, my children one time was in the car with me. Do you know they text me to say they needed to use the washroom?
So you right there.
I'm driving and I pick up my phone. They in the back, they said, we got to go to the washroom. I went right past that station too. They had to hold it.
You know what's deep
for a while. I let them go, but I text them back. I text them back. I said, when I can get to it, they was back there squirming because I wasn't gonna turn around and go, all right, I would be pulling over. I was like, when I can get to a safe place to text, I was like, give me a minute. You ain't playing that game with me. Got the headphones on. They eat with them on.
Now, you know how engineered this is.
Crazy.
I was in school, and there was a class I took called Computer Mediated Communications. And we were in a room, and so we were literally doing a 90s version of Facebook, but it was just us chatting. But we were in the room, and they were talking about white people, talking about all the communities, and I'm looking at them like, why in the hell would I want to communicate with you over there, and I'm right here in the same room with you? What would be the point of that? So I'm over here looking like this computer mediated stuff is crazy, and then year after year it began to grow, and now people are programmed to not have human interaction. That is a skill. I was told that employers now, they're looking for those who can consciously listen and critically think and have the ability to communicate with humans.
Teach, brother.
Because some of us can only communicate with technology. And when you have to have any type of social interaction with another person,
they don't know what to do.
When
I speak to folks in the morning, I promise you, I think they would feel more comfortable if I text them on the elevator. And just said good morning, let them read it. Because when I open up my mouth and say good morning, it's strange, it's foreign. They look at me like,
he's speaking
like I'm on a train in New York.
You
know, during rush hour. And I'm on an elevator in slow Chicago, and they looking at me as though they're afraid. And that's why we could do what we could say what we want on this Facebook piece and express ourselves, but we don't do that in person. No, our people walk by the sheep, even the shepherd. Well, I can't call you a shepherd. No, I'm not. Well, there's some shepherds out there, but we got some wolves and
sheep's clothing.
With sheep's clothing, and they have to be pointed out because. But then going back to what I love about the principles and what I've learned from Minister Mike and all of the members is that we got to move forward. And we got to damn the torpedoes. We got to go full speed ahead because God is calling on all of us to take charge of our post and all of his temple. That's in sight. Not no building.
No, you're talking about the people.
Talking about the people is the mosque, the church, the synagogue, the temple. And once we expand our thought, once we expand our brains and our thinking and our understanding, brother, of those books, then we'll know that it's our duty as human beings to interact with each other, to love each other, to show kindness, patience, understand. No, we all are growing. Believe me, we all are.
Oh, most definitely.
We all are. I mean, there's immaturity about me. There's immaturity about you. And believe me, I know I have it. I mean, I'm stubborn sometimes, and I do. I'm go, oh boy, that was very immature. And so I'm learning, but I know it's
At least
there.
you can acknowledge it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Because
I
sometimes
gotta
when
acknowledge.
you're
If
blind,
I want to be better.
Yeah, but you blind, you just keep going in that direction. And one thing that you just said, it made me think about the word acknowledgement, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, an acknowledgement, looking at this particular one here, right above 5, because we're dealing with leadership. I apologize for following the worst examples of leadership, where I cut deals that left out the youth, left out the poor,
I gotta change.
the homeless, the mentally challenged, and all those we are responsible for.
Can I take mine back and change it to this the one I want?
This is the one.
Can I read that one?
Read it again.
I mean, you read it good, but I just want to read it too. I said the other one was
right,
the best one. How did you come? Did you come up with this?
I came up with it, but I also had youth that helped to get it more defined and precise, because we had a process to communicate with them. We use restorative practice, but we also use deliberative dialogue and the spiritually scientific processes, because we had to be able to find a way to touch the heart and then allow them the space that's non-judgmental to say whatever they felt and thought. And as we did that, I had to let them know, brother, sister, I went through that too. Yeah, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. And because they felt so comfortable doing it, it made it where this is precisely the way they think.
Listen, I apologize for allowing 90% of the businesses in our neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. Is that the one?
Oh no, the one that you.
Oh, the one that I want is right above it. Oh no. I apologize for following the worst examples of leadership where I cut deals. I apologize for following the worst examples.
Not the best, but the worst.
The worst examples of leadership where I cut deals that left out the youth. And look at the youth unemployment numbers, and you are really criminal. But let me finish.
But children first, though, y'all. Children first. Children first.
Right. The poor, the homeless, the mentally challenged, and all those we are responsible for. Man, that right there, you can't tell me we don't need new black leadership. See, because cutting deals and to fill your pockets while our babies are unemployed, when you sit at these tables and you know you could be negotiating jobs and opportunities and talking to other businessmen and people who have money, where you can say, hey, listen, we could just give this company some money and say, hire these youth, train them, and we're going to teach them work ethics, etc. But you're not. You live in large while people continue to suffer, and you're not at all in tune with what really needs to be said and done right now. You're playing games.
And how could you be so cutthroat to allow Cook County Jail to be the largest facility in dealing with mentally challenged people?
Wow.
How could you allow that to happen? How could you allow, with all the trauma going on in the neighborhoods of the city of Chicago, I'm not talking about just the 22, 23 that's predominantly black. You have trauma everywhere. You have people going crazy all over the place. And you mean to tell me that you cut all or majority of them, but the ones that hit us extremely hard?
Wow.
Oh, I thought we had a call. But yeah, but that right there.
Hey, listen, if you all want to call in to talk to Brother Enoch or me, you know ain't no telling what's going to come out of my mouth, but 708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. We welcome your calls.
People just like, I think, doing their videos where they can film people, having their episodes on the L train and on the bus, and they
Right.
laugh and giggle until someone pulls out a gun or pulls out a knife and someone gets hurt. And people don't realize, look here, you filming something is the same as when people tell you you shouldn't watch fights too much. If you're out in the street, the best thing, hey, you see a fight, you better start. If you're not going to interrupt it, you better go about your business, because you can become the victim. Because once that gun come out or whatever weapon come out or whatever happens, you was watching, well, now you part of it.
Right.
And so you got a lot of people that fell into that culture of, I'm going to videotape our sickness. I'm going to videotape our ignorance.
That's nuts.
I'm going to videotape our criminality and the
so
tragedy.
nuts.
Instead of saying, I am going to do something to prevent it. There was a sister today snapping on an elderly woman who was trying to back out of a parking space. And I'm like, she, and she hollering. I pulled my window down. I looked at her. And then she was like, that bee almost hit my car. And I looked at it again. She pulled her damn window up and backed away. I'm like, are you out your mind? I'm like,
Yeah,
either you don't know this is an elderly woman, or you just don't care.
Man, they have gone crazy. And I'm sorry to say, I'm not sorry to say, but I'm so disappointed that I see so many. And I know that our sisters are frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot of reason they stressed out.
Very stressed.
Because I'm observing the same behavior. They driving like a bat out of hell. And I mean, not going no place. They ain't rushing to the grocery store, ain't rushing to go home and cook, ain't rushing to go tend to the children, ain't rushing to go and clean up, ain't rushing to go, well,
wherever they going,
they ain't rushing to do something productive. Yeah. Many of them that I see on the side, they get right on the side. I mean, women usually like, go, you go, I'm good. They more aggressive than they've ever been. I mean, forced into that mentality and that behavior, but it's no excuse, because we just as silly as they. And that's why I would really love when I heard the minister say, and I repeat it often, say, wherever you find a no good woman, you got to find a no good man.
Most definitely.
That's the truth. So,
and it's critical to remember that in the pocketbook of Black women, $650 billion out of that 1.1 trillion,
that's a lot of money.
$650 billion just with our sisters. So that means that, again, leadership, we have to begin looking at how we can take leadership and make it where block by block, door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, city by city, we begin to look at how can we build, because there are too many of our women that I've heard personally say things which meant that they didn't care about their own lives, because they were saying things like, I'm not leaving anything for my children. I'm spending all my money. And they were bragging about it. Like, legacy means nothing. I'm not going to have a will. I'm not going to get any insurance so that they can get any money and have a better life than I had, or put them in a different, tax bracket. I'm going to spend all my money. I ain't leaving them nothing. It lets me know that you had a feeling for years that your children were liabilities for you. And they were never an asset for you. And that's why you think the way you think. And that's why your children turned out the way they turned out, because you just wanted to have sex. You wasn't trying to make no babies, and you got stuck.
It's almost like in my head, a beat is going on while you speaking. And I think that was Chris in the group. It's all about self-destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Was that?
Yeah, self-destruction, KRS-One.
KRS-One. Yeah. It's all about self-destruction. And that's why organizing is so critical. But going back to the beginning of the show, if you can just grab the reset.
That's what time it is, y'all.
To means again.
Everybody that's watching this, go ahead, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever you do, put that reset #reset, and then put a 2017, because you got to reset yourself first. We're not talking about anybody else first. We're talking about you. We have to reset ourselves. Think about yourself spiritually.
That's right.
Mentally, economically, socially, politically. Think about yourself in terms of your family. Think about the goals that you have and the things that you say you want to accomplish. Okay, when you think about those things, where are you? Do you believe that you can achieve them? Are the obstacles so great that you believe that you can't overcome them? when we have those thoughts, and those thoughts are real, they come up when we frustrated, we have to be able to find a way to reset ourselves daily, sometimes just moment to moment, hour to hour. We have to find ways to reset. And when we say reset, we're saying we have to rejuvenate, we have to empower, we have to synergize, we have to educate, we have to transform ourselves first. And when we do that, then if you work with children and youth, okay, you got to do that with them as well. If you work in technology and economics and policy, whatever, you have to do that within the work you do, because you bring value to whatever arena you in. And if you are valueless in yourself, then your dealings and all that you do, that valueless sentiment, that energy, it just spreads. So if you're in a daycare center, your valuelessness, it spreads to the children. But if you feel value in yourself, well, now that value, it now goes to the children.
I love it.
So we have to now reset completely. And I'm talking about the psychosocial side, the biochemical side, and then all the other areas. We have to look at how can we all reset, because when we do that, my resetting myself, connected with you resetting yourself and others, now we're looking at it from a different perspective. We're looking at what we can do, how we can defeat the obstacles and the challenges, and we can. We're not gonna get trumped. Y'all sick if y'all think we about to get trumped. This is a blast off.
We got the Trump card.
That's right.
We got the Trump. Tell us more about this right here. Okay. Now this is coming up
this Saturday.
Right here.
Well, this Saturday, want to make sure everybody, put it on your calendar if you don't know about it.
This Saturday,
February 4th, we're going to be at St. Sabina Church, the Faith Community of St. Sabina over there on 78th and Racine. We're going to be there in McMahon Hall, in the lower level where they have the big black Jesus. I like that picture of the black Jesus.
Yeah.
We're going to be there.
The real one.
And the real one. And we're going to be there. And as we're there, we're asking all who say they want better for their children. So I'm talking to parents first and foremost. Please come. But don't bring the 3-year-old, the 4-year-old. We want the 12 and up, the ones who are on Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook, the ones who cutting up in school, the ones who don't know that they really not a savage. That's not their destiny. That's not your true definition and purpose. Bring the 12 and up there. Now, even though if you saw the flyer, it may say males to men empowerment, we're saying if you got girls and they 12 and up, bring them.
Good.
Because we want you to know at this free empowerment seminar that you're coming in to participate in a process that connects you to different coalitions, organizations, agencies. And just to give you an idea, the first part of this, we're doing an intergenerational dialogue. And the dialogue has the topic, does Black lives matter to Black people?
Ooh, say that again.
Do Black lives matter to Black people? And if so, what are your solutions? So if Black lives matter to Black people, when we talk about solutions, we're not talking about you going an hour with the problem and the cause. No. We did that already. We need to know what is your solution that you advocate for, and the implementation. And those who we are inviting to come, we're asking them to provide a 2-minute overview of their solution and what they advocate and that they're part of. Because we want to connect with those who doing. We want to work with the workers. So when you do that, we'll be able to have a tapestry that we can put together and say, look at what we are doing. Now, what we need after we add it up, we need 50 million. Forget no 100,000, that ain't nothing. We need about 200 million. Okay, who got our money? Do the mayor got it? The governor got it? The people who spending 23 million in zip codes on lotto, you all got it? We got to get that money so we can rebuild the wasted cities, the wasted neighborhoods. Absolutely. We have to do that work. So we have people already on board. First of all, our brother, Attorney Lewis Myers, who's a professor at Chicago State University, he's going to be on tap. It's a sister named Kathleen Bankhead. She used to be in the Attorney General's office, I believe. She's a youth advocate for the juvenile justice system. She's on board with us. We have a brother who is a NBA career development counselor. He used to play for the Milwaukee Bucks, but he's from Chicago, named Lloyd Watson.
I love Lloyd.
Lloyd is going to be on tap for this. Yeah. And then we have a brother named Gregory Sane from the New Black Leadership Coalition.
There ain't no telling what's going to come out of my damn mouth there. But I see them heavyweights, so I'm going to be quiet.
No. What we want to do is that, and we want you, those who are going to be there, we want to have all of us in position, because when we do this intergenerational dialogue that's focusing on solution and implementation, we are of the mindset of we need assignments. We need to be able to look at the work that we can do tomorrow, the work that we can do tonight or that the night of the event. And the youth, they want to be part of the work. They want to be connected to something, because a sense of belonging for young people is real.
That's
and
right.
We want to belong to something that's moving. So on February 4th, this Saturday, we're kicking it off with that, but then we'll have a transition where we have to now deal with the biochemical side. So we have one chef. He has a plant-based cooking system. He has a Facebook page called The Diary of a Vegan. And what he does is he takes all the mystique and the arrogance of many people who are considered vegan, because he said a lot of vegans are arrogant from his perspective. But he says, no,
oh boy,
take away the arrogance. We humble with it, and we help our people to understand that you can transition away from pork and beef and at least look at what it means to be in a plant-based kitchen where you can cook and the meals taste excellent, because once you know the science of the spices and the medicinal purposes for it, as well as the tasting, brother, then that's going to be something that's going to illuminate a lot of minds. So Chef Alejandro, that's his name, Chef Alejandro Fenor, he's going to be there to give you not only the word about it, but you're going to taste the food. So you'll be able to actually say, oh, I like that, or I taste that, or that makes me feel better. And then for those who say, well, I'm not quite ready to jump there because I've been eating hog maws and chitlins. I had some last night. Matter of fact, I had some pork chops this morning with some eggs. So if you have pork chops and eggs and bacon and and that's what you eat, don't worry. We have, brother.
We're gonna wean you off.
We're gonna wean you off of. We're gonna be merciful. We're gonna be merciful. We got brother Quentin Love from Turkey Chop.
Turkey chop.
West side.
We're gonna wean you off with turkey
and chicken. But he's gonna show you healthy ways. Again, he wants to show you healthy ways, as well as a healthy lifestyle process that you can get involved in, which takes into account what you should do with your body, as well as the food you should put in your mouth. And so those two brothers are going to be focused on that. And then we have cultural empowerment that's coming through our brother from Chicago named Phenom. And Phenom is going to come with phenomenal, not only music and lyrics and bars, but he's coming with a message to help young people see the value in themselves and how they do not have to follow the cultural trends that are coming through to kill music. And brother Kwabena, who does the Clear the Airwaves campaign, we always are talking about how can we find strategic ways to help clear the airwaves, because when so much profit is involved in commercial radio, of course they want the sex in there. Of course they want the killing in there. They know psychologically you can continue to traumatize and rape people and put a beat on it. And then those who make money off of it, they want to sell you some burgers after that. They want to sell you a car after that. So we have to be able to say, well, while we're getting our
fill you up before you go and kill.
Hey, fill you up so you can kill more. So Phenom is going to come to be part of that process of not only detoxing, but empowering us. And last but not least, you, those who are social workers that we've spoken with, the educators, those who are in public health, those who are in juvenile justice system. We were at a summit a few days ago, and Superintendent Dixon, he communicated with us that over 69 young people who left the juvenile detention center last year, they left out, and within a few months they were murdered. Wow. And that was one of the highest numbers they've had in recent times, to have that many killed in 1 year, that there was no wraparound. There was no holistic process for these young people to get involved in.
Hey, it seemed like the guy, the Barack community, he needed a wraparound.
Yeah.
He went to the halfway house, and they went in there and assassinated the cat and told everybody else to go to the other side of the room.
Wow.
And then one of the guys, but I ain't gonna get into that. That's another whole show. Yeah. Who are some of the other folks gonna be there?
Oh, well, we get from New Black Leadership Coalition, Brother Reeven Fellows. He's part of a group called Books Over Balls. So Brother Reeven, the ultimate activist, he's in everybody's meeting. He has all the agendas from the last 40 years. So he's gonna be there with that information. We get Brother G2 from he's the national director of the Journey for Justice Alliance. And that brother, of course, been doing the work in the Kenwood, Oakland community. So he's going to be part of it. There's an upcoming artist who's not only conscious, but he's very in tune with the people in the work, by the name of LS. He's a Chicago rap artist. He's going to be there. And then there's a sister by the name of Mariam. She's published a magazine called Heal Thyself.
Oh,
and so Sister Mariam is also slated to be with us. And Obari Cartman, psychologist and author.
Good people.
He's going to be present. And then Richard Muhammad, editor of the Final Call newspaper, he's going to be present. So we have a couple of people we're waiting on a response for. But the goal is to get us in a position to holistically look at our solutions and our implementation and look at the overlap, because I may cover what I cover, but I'm not covering what you cover, because we may cover similar things on certain levels, but then you're doing something that's totally on a different level. That's one of the reasons why within this particular experience and activity, we are introducing the fifth element of Hip Hop Detox, because the four core elements of Hip Hop Detox has always been conflict resolution, cultural arts, physical and mental wellness, and entrepreneurship. And all of our programming, those four elements have always been weaved in. So now we have finally come into what we generically call financial literacy, but we're looking at how do we understand the mechanics of money? How do we take the understanding of the mechanics of money and utilize them so we can get out of this generational poverty and this whole idea of permanent underclass, and how socioeconomically we could never rise above what 3 generations we were? You know, we have to find a way to break through that. And so we have a couple of groups that we're working with so that we can synergize that into our core components under the financial literacy, so then we can begin to help people to help themselves.
Wow. Enoch is a wealth of knowledge, brother.
Hey, praise
I mean, all praise is due to God, man. We got to leave, but I mean, folks, y'all got to invite. This is one of the members of the new Black leadership. I'm so proud of you, brother. I'm serious. I mean, I didn't need to be here because I'm serious.
Oh, yes, you did.
But I'm saying, no, man, I'm just so proud of you. And what you've given the people tonight is so invaluable. And I'm going to go home and play this back just to listen to you, because it's great information and it is love.
And
this is love.
And I forgot to tell people, you have to RSVP because seats are limited. So please email us at hiphopdetox@yahoo.com.
Is there a phone number they can call?
They can call 773-234-7172. That's 773-234-7172, or email us at hiphopdetox, that's with 2 X's, hiphopdetox@yahoo.com, so you can reserve your seat.
Don't forget, tomorrow, 7:30, we're on CAN Television. Tomorrow, the new Black leadership is on CAN Television. Reset. Because unfortunately, we've been sitting
too damn long.
Thank you for tuning in to the new Black leadership. And let's give Brother Enoch a hand. Woo.
Black leadership.
Boy, you ain't no joke out here. Peace and love. Thank you, Brother Earl, the best producer on the planet here at IntellectualRadio.com. Peace out, baby.